For more than 2 months now I haven't done anything in this workshop because of this cancer I have, but that's okay. And I thought today we're gonna try to make something. But before I start whatever project, maybe first I'm gonna clean up this mess, because it's for more than 2 months that all this shit is laying here. I think this one goes here. I think when you have a workshop where everything is more or less clean, that's a big part of happiness. I know for some people happiness is just an illusion, but for me it is not. I believe you cannot live happily, have a happy life. Maybe that's an illusion, but my system is I try to be happy with the smallest things. Let me explain. Just sitting here on my 2 little steps, enjoying a good cup of coffee and a cigarette, to me that's happiness. Happiness is for me also making evening food and hoping that this time it will not taste as out of date car tires. Shit, it's hot, that thing. And when your kids finally realize that you're too weak to play, they steal your toy and they play with it. And when you see this, happiness. Or for example, spending my time printing out all these addresses and these little letters here to send Rustinox stickers anywhere in the world. And of course, on these eco paper labels, there is this easy way to peel them off. You see, you take that and you peel them off. And of course, I printed the other side, so it's a real pain to get this label off. But if you can admit for yourself that it was stupid, pure happiness. Look at this. Now I'm sitting here in my kitchen, I think about it. Because of this cancer I have, there's of course lots of things I'm not allowed to eat anymore. But that's not a problem. I can always eat other things. While I'm sitting here on my bench, enjoying the evening sun on my face, I remember this morning in the hospital. I woke up, it started to get light. There was not yet sunrise, but it started to get light. And I had this little radio, you know, and I turned it on, and there was this song on the radio that talks about the beauty of the morning. Just a simple song, beauty of the morning. And this is where I decided from now on I will survive. And that was pure happiness. A question could be, for example, the time I do not spend in the hospital, or the time I do not spend in my shop, what do I do? Well, maybe it's gonna surprise you a bit, but my first hobby is music. I really like to listen to music. I think music is a perfect world to dream away. So I have here a pile of power amplifiers, a preamplifier. All this is connected to this computer. Years ago I built myself these speakers you see in the front there, but I have also speakers in the back. So when I sit here in my YouTube chair, I sit in the middle of the music. I don't listen to the music, I am right in the middle of it. So music is not just sound, music becomes an experience. If you sit here, in the music, pure happiness. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but if you're really interested, let me know in the comments, and maybe I can make a separate video about this sound system. The last couple of weeks I received tons of emails with all these kind words to try to help me out, and I can only say thank you for this. I would like to respond to all your emails personally, but there's so much it's not possible. I also received tons and tons of fantastic comments on my last videos. People who wish me well, and I can not thank you enough for this. I received mails and comments from people who wanted to show their workshop, their machines. I received pictures, and they go straight to the heart. I think it's fantastic. I really don't know how to thank you. Some of you even asked me if I needed help. They proposed their help. They proposed to raise a fund to make some money to help me out. But people, please do not. I have these insurances, you know, so I do not need money at all. In case of problem, I saved a little money, so if something happens to me that cost me money, not a problem, I can pay. I consider myself as a rich man because I can eat good food every day. I have a car that starts every time I need it. I can live in a comfortable house with a good heating system. So, in fact, nothing can happen to me. And I think that is pure happiness. You can clearly see it's a long time ago I've been here, because the table stops I made in the month of May, that's more than 2 months ago, haven't moved, they're still on the same spot. I had a little idea to do on the shaper. What I miss here is the possibility to move the ram with the hand, no motor. I have this crank that is not original of this shaper, and when I put it here I can move by hand, but I think it's not really handy. My idea was maybe to put some kind of wheel, the idea of this one here in the middle part, so I can move the machine by hand. Of course not this one, it is too big and it's open hole, so I think it's dangerous. It must be closed, of course, in one part. I think that could be a beautiful project to do. Here also you can see it's a long time ago I've been in the workshop, because the rivet video thing is still on my blackboard, so we're gonna take it off. Oh, and my TMC project still here. Magnets. Another upcoming project is to try to make something useful out of this cheap scrappy thing I recycled. The motor seems to be okay. Axle spinning freely, no problem. No end play. Here seems to be a problem, you see. And then the fun trick is you have this, I'll move it a bit, the high speed wheel one side. You see how crappy it is. And then take all the junk out. This big one is a low speed wheel, but I think it's a bit a weird idea to mount it on the back side. It should be better this side. I don't know. And you cannot use it with water because there's only a guard. That's all. There's no water container or oil container to use it. So this is an upcoming project. Of course, I don't know when, but we'll see. Another upcoming project is gonna be to fix the tailstock of this lathe. Let me explain. Some previous owner, I don't know who, raised this headstock. You see here this gap. So this height we want in height between the spindle and the bed. Of course, to compensate this height, you have to make this plate to raise also the tailstock to have it back in line. But since I have this machine, there's a problem here, stability, and I think there's something wrong with the angle they cut out, or I don't know what, some dimension problem, and I think I'm gonna make a new plate for it. So I have to find a piece of steel, these dimensions are a bit more, and try to make it better. Yes, I did say try, because I think this is a complicated project. I think today's project is gonna be to make this little hand wheel I told you for the shaper. Of course, I do not have the good raw materials to make one, but I have this square thing with the hole in it, and this hole is way too big, so my idea is to make a plug, weld it in, and then of course cut the corners off, and out of this I can make in these dimensions you can read. So this 100mm will be a bit less because this square is 100mm. So, but I suppose that's okay. And then drill a hole and tap M6 for the set screw. I think that's a beautiful little project to start with. In theory this should fit. I'm going to give it a little try. To determine more or less a circle for my hand wheel, I put the part in the lathe, clamped down on this side. Of course, for the moment they're still out of square, but we'll fix it. So first I'm gonna cut off these corners with the angle grinder. Let's make some sparks. Oops. this oops moment was not really a oops moment. When we look here, the gearbox changing, these levers, you see they're spinning, and there's this pointer, and it was not really completely engaged, and at some point it just jumped out of gear. That's all, so nothing special. The finish is maybe not terrible on this part, but that's not a problem. I'm gonna round it, so we'll be okay. Okay, I'm gonna take it out, deburr a bit, of course. I'm gonna flip the jaws around and put it in the other way to work this shoulder. I faced off this vertical face, the big one. Now it's time to reduce this diameter, and because I'm working against a right shoulder, maybe it's the ideal moment to try out my freshly made carriage stop. I never used it. Looks good. This now is about 39.5. We're gonna reduce it to 25. The finished size of this boring should be 14 millimeters. So I'm gonna drill it out with a 13, and then with the boring bar finish it out till I reach 14. Very strange ships. Now, before I make these rounded forms here, of course, like anybody else, first I tried it and it fits. The problem is now, this thing is so really hard to turn. It's really not handy. I don't think I'm gonna leave it on. I don't think I'm gonna use it, because this for me doesn't work. It's too hard to spin. Now, to end up this video, one more little thing. For all of you who asked me to send stickers, I have good news. All the stickers, and I mean all of them, have been posted this week, so they're on the way. One of these days you will have these Eco Rustinox stickers in your mailbox. One more little thing. This hand wheel I made, I never finished. I don't wanna consider it as a fail, but more as a tryout. It didn't work, but at least I tried. Did you?